Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
Texas would never be back. I'm putting that shit on my grave. Horns down on my grave, son.
Dabo is going to wheel his boys to a big victory this coming Monday.
A big victory. It's damn Georgia Tech.
That game ain't a top 50 game, man. South Carolina go in there. They're going to get dispersed.
Shout out to the boys again, going another 4-0 on the parlay, hitting again. 8-0. We are 8-0 on the season. If you listen to the podcast, you want to win some money, tune in.
Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Roll Tide, roll. RMFT. Roll motherfucking Tide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back once again to the College Football Weekly Matchup. Finally here, once again, with the guys here, all here tonight, getting ready for college football here in just a few weeks. Everybody's here tonight. Bryson here with me at the house. New little setup, new little intro, hopefully to a good season. Josh rocking the Alabama Crimson Tide as always. But looking forward to a good season. How's everybody doing, Preston? What you looking at over there? How's everything going? Oh yeah, he's currently doing a fantasy football draft. How's everything going for you in life
It's going great, man. Very happy. Everything's going great. Life's good, and just ready for college football. A couple weeks out.
Yeah, we are live here on YouTube, and you can rewatch this, like I said, on Spotify. Download it on there and rewatch it on YouTube as well. Josh here with us, looking good, like we said before. We done slimmed down.
You're a Slim Reaper.
Yep, looking good. Ready for
man,
the college football season. New coach.
Yeah, new coach. This is the PS season, the post-Saban era of Alabama, of college football. It's kind of weird. I mean, he was at Alabama for 17 years. He's been coaching in college football for a long time. He was definitely left a legacy at at Alabama, and big shoes to fill.
Then I got my man to the right of me over here, Bryson.
Thank you.
Back with us.
Yeah, thank you.
How's everything going?
Oh man, it's going good. Can't wait for college football. Best time of the year. Our coach
might not be. We won't get too much into it, but it might not be very good time for you.
Yeah, not the greatest time. Still rebuilding. Coach is definitely in the hot seat. Got that fire rolling this season. I'm excited. Like I said, greatest time of the year, and I'm glad all the boys are back together.
All right. Well, Preston, how's the draft going over there? Going good?
Yeah, so I just took Lamar Jackson because I'm the second overall pick. So far I've got Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins. I've got 38 seconds. Who should I take left? I don't have a tight end, and it's double flex league.
You better get a lot of quarterbacks.
Think so?
Oh, I thought you said super flex. You said double flex.
Well, technically it's flex, but I don't think it's super flex.
Anyway, you can let us know how it goes later. Anyway, this is the first year of the 12-team playoff. Looking forward to it. It's going to be different this year. Josh, any expectations going into the year? What's to expect here?
I don't know, man. It's kind of with the realignment of the two big conferences here. That bodes intriguing matchups throughout the whole year. The 12-team playoff, for the first time ever, we're going to see, two-loss team in playing in the postseason for a national title. And, who those teams will be, we'll see. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Something different.
Technically, don't mean to cut you off. Technically, we could even get a 3-loss team.
Could see how it plays out and how tough the schedule is and what their games look like, and the eye test for the committee when they make their selection. It's going to be an intriguing season. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's going to be an end of an era of like it was with the BCS when we went to the college football playoff, and then it's also intriguing having Texas and Oklahoma come to the SEC, and then in the Big Ten, you got, USC and Oregon. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. UCLA, you know, it's just I think Big Ten has 18 teams in it, and yeah, man, there's going to be matchups every week. It's must watch TV. I don't think we're going to have like usually we have a couple weeks that are kind of boring. I don't think that's going to happen anymore in college football.
Yeah, there's some really big weeks too. I mean, there's some stacked weeks with a lot of good games. Bryson, thoughts going into this season, 12-team playoff?
Yeah, I really like it. I think they should keep it as 12 teams. I don't think they need to extend anymore. I hope it stays 12. My goal is, hey, get number 12. That's what we're trying to shoot for as Florida. But besides that, I really like the 12 teams, kind of like March Madness. Gonna have that little Cinderella story. Like last year, if they had it, I think Missouri could have gone all the way. They had a hot hand at the end of the season. But I'm glad the committee actually changed it to 12.
Yep. Preston, any thoughts? I mean, you guys got I know you guys got a big game starting out. Thoughts of getting into the 12 teams playoff? It gives Clemson a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, it gives a lot of people a lot of chance. I don't appreciate you telling me it gives a Clemson great chance. I mean, they have a lot of talent over there, you know that. But I think it could be good, or it's going to be really good for college football. But I also think it allows for teams to schedule these bigger non-conference games that are out of early in the season with less of penalty if you lose them. A couple of years ago, you're not scheduling. I mean, obviously these games are for the next couple of years were scheduled a couple of years in the past, but hopefully moving forward we get to see a lot more bigger games. I mean, typically a couple of years ago, if Clemson lost to Georgia, our season was pretty tough to overcome. You got to run the table, win the ACC, and now you get into it. So maybe this new world of college football allows for bigger matchups and more leniency, like Josh said. I mean, there's a potential for a 3-loss team to potentially make the playoffs, and I mean that's been unheard of since forever. So I mean, we're in for a new landscape here, and it's gonna be really exciting to see.
Yeah, definitely, gonna be very exciting. But we had some old news come in this week. I don't know if you guys some new news, old news. Talk about a few things here. If you guys want to mention them, Jim Harbaugh news came out today, and there's also more Michigan news. I mean, as far as they were saying he was on the sideline and in the disguise, whatnot. However you want to put it, Josh. I mean, any thoughts on that? I know he's in the NFL. He don't, he's gone, but.
Yeah, I seen that come across my screen today. The show calls for Jim Harbaugh. I'm like, what does he care? I mean, in his press conference yesterday, I think it was yesterday. He pretty much gave the finger to Michigan. It's not my problem anymore. But now I see that the current head coach, Sharon Moore, over 40 something deleted text messages between him and the guy that was, super spy mode. I think it runs a little deeper than what Michigan fans want to admit. I think that there is a potential for the NCAA to try to flex its muscle here, but it's still a big time program who hasn't won a national title in a long time, and they still got the M on their jersey. You know what I mean? So I mean, I don't know what the NCAA is going to do, but I do expect Sharon Moore to get a show cause too. I think. He will coach in the Texas-Michigan game, and then after that, I think they will suspend him. I think he will be suspended for a majority of the season. I think they're going to kind of cater to their schedule with the suspensions. I can't see a postseason ban possibly coming too.
Oh, postseason, yeah, that's why I was curious too to see if that was. I didn't know if that was going to come across my screen anytime soon. Preston, any thoughts on the Harbaugh news?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head on that one. Harbaugh, I mean, banning him really just doesn't really matter. He's not coming back to college football. I mean, he did what he wanted here. He won a championship. He kind of brought Michigan back to relevancy. But he's always been an NFL guy. That family's an NFL family, and he's happy where he's at. So banning him really doesn't do too much for that aspect. And yeah, like you said, I'm interested in to see what the aftermath is going to be. I mean, they've already catered to the Michigan schedule. What was it last year, the year before, when they originally had a suspension for Harbaugh? They gave him, I think he was only out for one tough game, if I'm not mistaken, or I don't really remember off the top of my head, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think it is what it is at this point.
Bryson, any thoughts?
I mean, it pretty much said all is what it is. Harbaugh don't care. He's in the NFL, like Josh said. Giving old big Stone Cold Steve Austin over there, just he
Hey,
don't care.
I was with Josh. The interview, he pretty much, he was pretty much like, what, like didn't act like he had nothing to do. It wasn't him, which is probably, I mean, it could be. I don't know if y'all think that's true or not. I don't know.
No, man. Somebody like Harbaugh knows what's going on in his program. If not, then that's even more embarrassing.
Yeah.
I just hope one thing the college football doesn't go to is the NFL kickoff. My God.
Yeah,
that's awful.
If it was up to Dan Lanning, then it would, because Dan Lanning wants all the college football rules to reflect the NFL rules.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, other news came out today. Texas running back C.J. Baxter going down. That's a tough loss for them. Speaking of that, I know you guys played the college football game. He's one of the best running backs. Hard to stop in that freaking game. I can't play Texas.
He's a true freshman. So they were just going off what potential and what he done in high school in the video game. But it is a hit for Texas. The Blue.
Was he not on Texas last year?
I just heard that he was going to be the first true freshman to start at Texas since Ricky Williams.
For Coach Hayes, look that up. Well, I could have swore I thought he played last year. Anyway.
Blue, who got meaningful snaps last year, will be the starter.
Yeah. Coach Hayes talking about Jim Harbaugh here says, yeah, he knew that's why he got up and left. He knew what was coming. Coach Hayes.
Yeah, wing T out of Savannah.
Any other thoughts on the C.J. Baxter going down Texas? I know Bryson.
Hey, hopefully he's out to about week 10 or whenever we play.
He's done for the season.
Great player.
Yeah, MCL, UCL, he's done for the year. I don't know how much that really hurts. I mean, of course it hurts for depth reasons, and if he was projected to be the starter, but we're talking about a running back. We're not talking about we're not talking about Quinn Ewers, and I mean, hell, they got Manning behind him. So I mean, we're just not talking about a team that is one deep at all these positions. That they're stacked over there at Texas.
Yeah,
Texas.
All right, we'll move on from that. A couple other things here. Georgia players getting in trouble. Rah. Josh said he will be on the field. What did he say? He'll be on the field for week 2 or something like that. He got released.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good for Kirby Smart. I guess it was more to it than what I was reading. When I first read the charges, I was like, man, he could have gotten a fight in front of some kids, child cruelty. That's what they do. I seen simple battery and child cruelty. I didn't know if it was simple battery to a child, and I guess that may have been what it was. I also found out later after I said that he had previously gotten before for simple battery and family violence that was later dropped a couple of years ago or last year. So this was like another thing that happened, and good for Kirby Smart, because I'm wondering when these off the field issues are going to leak into the locker room or onto the field. Serious Georgia fans have got to wonder if these things are going to leak onto the field. That type of culture that seems to be going on over there at Georgia. And also, it's windy at the top. That's all I can say. Alabama's dealt with it, and they still deal with it. It's windy at the top. Anything that goes off, media is going to be all over it. So, I'm sure there's kids at Appalachian State getting,
yes, sir,
reckless driving.
Up there in Boone, North Carolina, so they're getting rowdy.
Over there at West Virginia, you know what I mean? I'm sure they're getting DUIs or reckless driving. It's not making news.
Shout Luke Combs.
So,
Shout out. On time out. We got a new subscriber. Shout out to Baseball Beast. Appreciate it.
Shout out Baseball Beast. Thanks for subscribing.
Anyway.
But one more thing real quick. I just wanted to add, I think that does potentially dampen a little bit for Georgia's receiver room. I think Kirby has expressed some concern this fall so far in fall practice about the receivers and how some of them have got to step up. I think Rob Thomas had the experience that was needed in that room, but we're still talking about Georgia and Kirby Smart, and the top classes that he's had. So I don't think they'll take a step back. I just say potentially that could be a problem. The wide receivers in that room.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it's gonna go. I'm just looking forward to the game to start.
I
Hopefully,
know Coach Hayes wasn't the biggest fan of that defensive driving class. I don't know. We sit in the chat. Yeah, he was not the biggest fan of that. I wonder if that's going to be a new requirement to graduate from the University of Georgia. It's like Josh says, you're on top. People start to, fall off a little bit. Hey, we were there. So,
Preston, any thoughts over there? I know you're in the draft over there. I can see. Hopefully, it's going well for you.
My team's looking good real quick. But can you stop? Sorry, I got a cat. Yeah, the whole Georgia thing, like Josh and everybody else was saying, when you're number one, you've got the most eyes on you of anybody, and everybody's nitpicking you and what?
Number one.
Number one. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. But yeah, everybody's gonna be watching you for the littlest things. On top of that, if it is a legit charge, everybody's gonna know about it, and everybody's gonna be a point of conversation. I mean, it always seems to be a relevant, comment that was said by Steve Spurrier 10 years ago. I love playing Georgia early in the season because they always seem to have players suspended, and that seems to still be the case. I mean, like I said, I don't want to make it seem like Georgia is the only school that deals with disciplinary issues. A lot of schools do. I mean, it's a fact of college football nowadays. You got 17 to 22-year-olds who are now absolutely loaded, and they have as much money and free cars and gifts to whatever they can do with. So people are bound to get in trouble. I mean, you hate to see the ones where it's violence, or anybody gets physically hurt. Those are the ones that are the biggest deal. But things are going to happen. I mean, we're talking about young men. So, I mean, like I said, it's unfortunate, but it's what to expect in college football nowadays.
Yeah. Anybody that joins, make sure you comment in the chat. We got Coach Hayes here. He did say, Josh, Baxter is a sophomore and Jaden is a junior. So I'm not sure. I thought Baxter played last year. Are you there, Josh? Are you frozen? He freeze?
Josh, you there, bud?
I don't know if that's I don't know what he did. Anyway, he'll be back. Let's keep it going here because he hasn't played much of it anyway.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
College football, EA 25. Preston, great game so far. Any thoughts? I know there's a lot of glitches, whatnot. Any thoughts on the game? I mean, it's keeping us through until college football season, I guess.
Well, I hate the game. Mostly because I suck at it.
Same.
I mean, it is what it is. The game, it's good. It doesn't play like Madden, which is awesome. I'm also really bad at that game too. You have different ways you can play it. You can play different kinds of passing styles. So it's an interesting concept to be able to play it like that. But the graphics are awesome. I do love that there's a huge attention to detail. I just wish I was better at it, honestly.
Yeah, I hate how you can't skip through the first part though. After you
let's talk about pursuit angles on that game for a minute. I mean, the pursuit angles.
Hey, is this an EA show? Are we doing an EA show?
No, we're trying to get we talked about it while we were here.
I mean,
yeah, I got kicked off. But yeah, I seen that Baxter was a sophomore.
Okay.
I don't know what those guys.
We were just talking about the game for a minute because we knew you hadn't played it. I mean, Josh, you haven't played in a while. I mean,
I played. I got the game. I played. Me and my son played. And
do you like it? I mean, do you think it's?
I mean, I think it's okay. And I've seen some clips, some reels, and some videos. It seems like the defense is kind of hard to play on that game. The breaking tackles is a little unrealistic.
Yeah, amen.
I mean, when I played with my son, it was kind of fun. I'm wanting to start a dynasty or whatever you do on there. I hadn't really had time to set up anything. I know my son, I was at work. He created his own player or whatever, put him on a team. So he said next time we play, he has something for me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but are y'all playing on All-American or Heisman?
All-American. Heisman's a little rough, but I probably play computer on Heisman now a little bit. But it's tough. Game's tough.
Yeah, I'm playing this golf game.
Road to the Masters.
No, the PGA 2K23. But I changed the difficulty of the opponents where they, shoot well under par, which
that's what we
is
did.
good. But then I changed the difficulty of from amateur to pro amateur. And dude, it was so hard. I was getting so pissed. I was like, dude, how does somebody go? I don't even know. I guess I got to sit down and play some more.
I will say the only thing I'm happy about the NCAA football. This is through week 12. I got my Heisman running back. I am Tennessee in one league, one dynasty. Don't ask why. It was just a team we picked. Anyway, I got 2,311 yards, 29 touchdowns through week 12.
Dylan
rushing.
Sampson.
The next closest is about 1,300 yards. So yeah, I am dominating the run game in that league. But anyway,
pictures of us, dude.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of us right now. I don't want to be on camera.
Trust me, I'm not taking a picture of you.
I don't want to be on camera. Anyway, let's keep it moving here. What else did we have before we get into the games? I thought I had something else. We had just kind of briefly. Whoever, did y'all see the top 25 list, the ESPN list? Did y'all see that?
Oh, Coach
No,
Hayes,
it's not
I'll
what?
tell you, look, Keith Heimer, welcome to the chat.
Anybody see that? They had like Tim Tebow. I think they had Tim Tebow outside the.
I think I seen that.
It was a while ago.
That's
I just
tough.
brought it up. I mean, I just didn't know if you guys like looked at it. It was a terrible list, but that's the only thing I wanted to say about
Josh,
it.
I want your Preston, your honest opinion.
I'm about to give you my honest opinion. You fixing to ask me who the greatest quarterback in college football ever is?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And who made this list?
I'm going to tell you right now, body of work, attitude, athleticism, it's Tim Tebow. I mean, Vince Young is close second for me, but Tim Tebow. I mean, Cam Newton and Joe Burrow, they had wonderful 1 year, flash in the pan, done, one and done type years. If you don't forget the year before Joe Burrow had that breakout season, he wasn't so hot. Tim Tebow, did it for 3 years.
No.
And won 2 titles. So I mean, that
Anyway,
to me, it's Tim Tebow's the best quarterback in my lifetime. Best college football quarterback in my lifetime.
Yeah. I just kind of want to bring that up. I mean, it was a rough list going through. I can't remember.
I just want to. I don't know if there's any Alabama fans listening or whatever, but if you are, and if you ain't, if you're just intrigued about listening to stuff about Alabama football and I got a show called Rolling with the Tide. It comes on. It comes on tomorrow on streamcity.org at 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11 p.m. So on Thursdays at those time frames, it's a 30-minute show. And this week I did getting to know the new coaching staff, and I did the head coach and then all of his offensive staff, where they coached at before, kind of their football background, just to kind of get to know the coaching staff. And then next week I'll do the defense, and the following week I'll do the players that we got in the transfer portal and a possible depth chart. And then the following week before football starts, I'll run down the schedule. But it's going to be every week on Thursdays. You'll be able to hear Rolling with the Tide at streamcity.org.
I like that name.
Yeah, how about Rolling with the Tide? Let's get on Rolling with the Tide one time.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about nothing but the Tide, baby.
And I will advertise this show. I will advertise this show as well. If once we get into the groove and we find out what night of week that we're going to do it, then I can advertise this show. People over here listen to that streamcity.org while they're at work, and they might be intrigued to tune in to YouTube or whatever.
You definitely got to send me that link. My coworker, he's a big Alabama fan. He loves listening to stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little rough. I'm doing the show by myself. It's hard to do a show by yourself. I'm going to try to download this Google Call thing on my computer so I can call another friend of mine who's an Alabama fan who knows a lot about Alabama football as well, and try to get him in on it.
You can always, I can give you my link to the StreamYard, and you can always use this. I don't know if that'll work with the
Rolling with the Tide. Josh Welcher
can-
rolling with the Tide.
You can use my login if you want.
Yeah, like Clay Rick said,
But
Josh
yeah.
doesn't give a piss about
So-
nothing but the Tide.
So yeah, and like I said, I'll advertise what we do for our college football weekly matchup, and if we can get like usually a set night, then they'll know when they can go on YouTube and do it.
Yeah.
Josh don't give a piss about nothing but rolling with the Tide. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the school football games again this year. I'm only gonna be doing some home games, but I
got that
do want
starting up
I do
Friday.
want to say that I'm gonna be calling the East Coweta versus Carrollton game, and Julian Lewis is the quarterback for Carrollton, and he's like one of the top rated quarterbacks in this next year's class, and I'll be able to watch him play from the press box at East Coweta. That's gonna be pretty cool. Like I got to watch Travis Hunter play, Brian Branch. So I mean, it's pretty cool being able to go to these high school games and these, guys that end up in the NFL. You watch them play in high school. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some games. I do some games Friday. I don't call any games, but I'll start filming and doing reporting Friday night. So that's when I start. Keith Heimer says, "Well, are you gonna
Willie
have
rolling with the Tide."
Willie on the show?"
Oh man, I would love to get Willie, but there is a couple of guys that I'm friends with on Facebook, and they kind of do podcasts, and I mean, one of them was at SEC Media Days. I'm gonna just get with them and see if it's a pre-recorded show, so it ain't something that I would have to get them live on the show,
Yeah.
and I might see if they can, come in and join for maybe 15 or 20 minutes to talk some Alabama football recruiting or something like that. That would be really cool. Don't know what my chance is, but it's worth a shot to ask them.
Yeah, always worth the shot. Always, you never know. Anything else we want to talk about before we get into our top 10 games? Because I know we got a good amount of games. So if you guys haven't been listening or don't know what we're doing today, we're going to pick our top 10 games we're most looking forward to for the 2024 season. Some of us might have the same games. We usually do this every year to start the year. Some might be, we might have some random games, some different games, but make sure you comment in the chat. Let us know what you think and whatnot. We'll throw up your comments on the screen. But everybody good, or anything else we wanted to talk about before?
Rolling with the Tide.
All right, let's get in. We're going to start from 10 to 1. So we're going to start at number 10, your 10th ranked game, and then we're going to go all the way to 1. Preston, we're going to start with you. We'll do honorable mentions at the end too. We're going to start with you. What is your 10th ranked game, your favorite game for the 2024 season? A lot of good games this year.
I got Florida State at Notre Dame. I think that's going to be a pretty big matchup to see DJ go back. What's so funny? What's so funny?
He's laughing at the comment. Sorry. He says, Clay Rick says, I'm taking the over for 1.5 for App State games. I don't mean to cut you off, Preston. I think there might be a possibility he might have just put all App State games just to do it. But I don't know. Anyway, Preston, go ahead.
Florida State at Notre Dame.
Florida State at Notre Dame. And I didn't even know. That's big. I guess Notre Dame did lose their left tackle.
They got DJ Ukulele this year, so
yeah.
Can't see what he's going to do. 5th-year senior.
Notre Dame. I know Ryan. I don't know if Ryan's in here today. He had posted on Facebook today about the left tackle. He's very he says it always happens to start the year. So
touchdown Jesus.
Big Notre Dame fan. Josh, your number 10 game.
All right. So I mean, I wrote a little something about why I picked the games.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. I think we cut Preston off a little bit.
So I mean, there is a lot of key matchups with the conference realignment. It was so hard to pick the top 10 games.
We'll have honorable mentions at the end.
Yeah, this is my list, and I'm just gonna start with 10. Like you said, I got Ohio State at Oregon.
On
October 12th, and I think the winner of this game will end up being the Big Ten champ with the first bye in the playoff. I think the winner of this game will be the winner of the Big Ten.
Gotcha. Ohio State at Oregon. That's what you said, right? You broke up just a hair there.
Yeah. Ohio State at Oregon, October 12th.
Gotcha. Ohio State at Oregon, October 12th. Bryson.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to you first. I would bet number 10 is going to be App State game, but maybe not.
All right, number 10, week 1, Georgia Clemson kicking off college football. I think it's going to be a great game. Could be a trap game for Georgia. I don't like how it's being played at 12 o'clock. Josh is pissed already. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. See what, hopefully Georgia, tries to stay hot, get some vengeance. But I just, the only thing I like about that game is 12 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't like it being 12 o'clock. Is it in Atlanta at 12 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a neutral site, but we're in Atlanta. Yeah. But all the Dog fans are going to be there. So,
yeah.
Chris, you're number 10.
My number 10. I can't stand this team. Bryce already knows. They probably could get blown out of this game, but I wanted to do a different team. I went Colorado.
Oh, hell yeah.
Colorado. Can't stand them. I know they shouldn't be in this list. I can't stand them. I wanted to try to pick a different game, but they have a tough schedule. They might only win 4 or 5 games. At Kansas, November 23rd. I like both quarterbacks. Stuart Sanders, Jalen Daniels, both quarterbacks, both running quarterbacks, both, good offense. Kind of surprised we'll see. And Kansas, in my opinion, Kansas could be a playoff team. They don't have too many tough games. They got I think they play Oklahoma State. Maybe another tough game in there, but I think that could be a
game to watch. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, that's going to be, so Kansas could absolutely roll Colorado. Don't get me wrong, but and plus I think it's towards it. What did I say? What week it was? I said it was November 23rd, so somewhat towards the end of the season, kind of thing. So I just picked them, like I said, 2 running quarterbacks, 2 offenses. I'm excited to see. Hopefully Colorado gets blown out.
Coach Hayes.
Everybody talks about them.
Coach Hayes texted me during the week about the preseason polls. Not happy. Kansas number 24. Not a fan of that.
What does he mean?
They're not supposed to be there? They said they should be ranked. Not happy.
Well, I mean, real quick, what confused me is I seen the coaches poll and I looked at it and I glanced over it. I didn't go team by team, but where's Washington?
I'm assuming people are thinking they're going to fall off with no Kalen
DeBoer. Come on, man. You played the national title game. I know you lost your coach, and most.
I agree. I think they should still be in.
Come on, you should be in top 20.
Yeah. I mean, they put USC in it every year, like Bryson says.
Hell yeah, they
lost the quarterback.
23. I'm telling you, USC 23. They make the top 25.
That's one thing I want to rant about. I mean, sorry, I don't mean to bring this into NFL, but I mean, Caleb Williams, you have no room to fall, brother. You've got the best offense. You've got the best, one of the top defenses. You got no room to fall.
Washington
let's not
ranked.
forget how many. Let's not. I mean, I don't really like Caleb Williams, but let's not forget how many interceptions Peyton Manning threw his first year.
Oh, I know it's his first year. What you mean? Caleb Williams is one of my favorite.
28. I think Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his first year.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be good. I think he's one of my top fantasy quarterbacks. So we'll say that. But anyway, let's get in number 9 game. Preston, we're going to go to you first again since we cut you off last time. Number 9, go to it.
You could not skip me. It just became my turn. Skip me. I'll come next.
Okay, skip you. Bryson, start off with you.
All right, number 9, Clay, mark it 1. Week 2, App State going to Clemson.
I didn't even know that was a game.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be upset of the year. App State rolling in there to Clemson, going to the fake Death Valley. I think it's going to be a great game. I think App State can pull. They got Joey Aguilar back there, quarterback, senior. Great running back there. Kanye Roberts, I'm telling you, team's going to be explosive. Watch out for the upset.
Bro, throwing Preston off while he's in the middle of his pick here.
I know.
You just threw him off.
That's an intriguing game because you said week 2.
It's a week 2 game.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be getting up big for that game against Georgia, and then they got to come home and play. The Power 5 killer App State. Who knows what could happen? If Clemson win or lose against Georgia, who knows what could happen in that game? That was a good game there, Bryson. I'm impressed with that pick there. Not surprised. I'm not surprised by your App State pick, but I am impressed with the quality of the game that you picked there, buddy.
A lot of great games, this season with this all.
Yeah, I mean, you literally could go from top to bottom and pick.
And
there's 50 games. There's 50 games that we could have picked.
All jokes aside, I'm telling you that's just like Josh said. That's that Power 5 killer, and I mean, Hey man, I think it really is going to be a good game. I don't know. I hope to see the upset, but hey, I said last year when they do the A&M.
All right, $25 bet between you and Preston right now on that
Clay
game.
says, "Will you bet on it right now, Preston?" Preston's over there. He's trying to get his make
It
sure
just
he
became
got
my
his
pick again.
team.
We'll circle back around to that bet there, Clay.
Yeah. We'll circle
It's
back
getting
around.
close to your bedtime. I'll
Yeah.
let you know what they say.
Yeah. All right. My number 9 game. Another one. It might not be a great game, but a team I am excited to see. Miami, and this is open season. Miami at Florida, August 31st. I'm excited to see what Cameron Ward Miami does. Florida, maybe not so much. Who knows? But Florida's good. Florida, I've heard Florida's looked okay. I've heard that. Some people don't mind. I know they got a tough schedule, but I've heard Florida has looked pretty good. That's not a bad bet. We'll go back to that in a second. But Florida, Miami at Florida. I think Miami is another dark horse to contend. Getting in the top 12 for that playoff. I mean, Miami, Cameron Ward, see what he's going to do over there. And Miami's a lot of times, sometimes overrated going into the season, but I don't know. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. I don't think they're going to be as bad. Preston, you have
Who
a
was
number?
your number 9 team or your number 9 game?
I had Miami at Florida, August 31st.
Same here, August 31st. I just think, like you said, it's a rivalry game. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think Miami's one of those teams in the ACC where they've got a lot of people riding them, thinking that they're going to be really competitive. They're going to be really good. They're going to compete with Florida State, Clemson, and Louisville. I think for Florida, they're not that good. And to be in the state of Florida, they should change their name because they're not the team of this of Florida. Thank you, Bryson. I just think it's going to be a very interesting game. I'm going to be riding with my ACC guys, and hopefully they can start the year off. Hopefully it'll already be 1-0 in favor of ACC.
You want Miami to lose?
No, I don't want Miami to lose. It doesn't matter. It's non-conference anyways.
I guess that's true. Yeah. I guess that's true. Anyway, I always forget about that. Clay Rick, before we get into the next game, Clay Rick did say in the chat, Bryson has to wear a Clemson jersey for the pod if Preston wins bet.
All right. Only issue is that I don't think I could fit in Preston's.
Oh, what do you mean fit? You buy a jersey.
We could just put a white kitty paw on your shirt you're wearing now.
Yeah. No, you'll get it. We'll get you a cheap jersey. We'll get you a cheap jersey. Anyway,
I like.
And that's what if Clemson beats
App State.
There you go, Coach Hayes.
Florida. Coach Hayes says Florida may not be competing for a national championship this year, but at least they can compete for the state championship this year if they beat Miami and Florida
And we
State.
can't forget about the 2017 national champions UCF. We got to face them at home. Hey, I'll tell you this right now. A dark horse one over there. That's KJ Jefferson. He tore us up last year in the air. We played Arkansas. They beat us in the overtime. That was a great game. But, KJ Jefferson going to UCF, going to be another tough game for us.
All right. Yeah, Clay says, damn, Preston throwing down. I don't know what he was talking about. Anyway. All right, let's get into the number 8 game, right?
Hey,
Everybody.
I don't want to know my number 9 game.
Oh, did you have another 9? I'm sorry, I skipped you. We talked so. All right.
You just forgot. Yeah.
I forgot about you. I thought you picked the number 9. Josh, number 9.
No, let's I'm gonna turn my attention to Texas at Michigan, September 7th. I think the winner of this game will have a resume bonus when the selection committee selects their teams at the end of the year. The loser of this game will have a slim margin of error to make the playoffs. Slim margin of error. And you'll understand later why I'm saying that. But yeah, Texas at Michigan week 2.
Texas at Michigan week 2. I'm sure we're going to see that in our list here.
Great week 2 games.
Down the road. If you are here, I see some people joining. Make sure you comment in the chat, thoughts on the game, whatnot. Let's get into week 8, our number 8 games. I'll start it off on this one. Maybe a game that should be higher. I'm going Georgia at Ole Miss, 2 of the top teams in college football. Maybe this game could be top 3. Could be the top 2 teams in college football. Maybe it's a possibility. November 9th. I think this can be a great game. Georgia has to go on the road. I know they were at home a lot last year. They got to go on the road for a lot of big games this year. So going to be a tough game. Like I said, Bryson, I mentioned Ole Miss, number one recruiting class.
Transfer portal.
Transfer, yeah, whatever dang thing is. But Ole Miss is going to be good regardless. Jackson Dart, that's still the quarterback,
Jackson
right?
Dart and Trey Harris is going to be a nasty combo.
Yeah, Trey Harris was good last year. Do they still have the other quarterback that's behind Dart or no? The one that came from Oklahoma State. Anybody know? I don't know. Anyway, that's my number 8 game. Great game there. Josh, number 8.
All right, number 8. I got Ole Miss at LSU October 12th. I think the loser of this game may miss out on an at-large bid for the playoffs. And if Ole Miss can win this game, they will probably be undefeated headed into my number 7 matchup, which I'll let y'all know when we
is
get
LSU going to be good this year? I know is LSU project. I mean, do they have a good? I don't know.
The games in LSU.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Preston, number 8.
Number 8, I've got Texas, Oklahoma, October 12th, the Cotton Bowl. I think, obviously it's one of those historic rivalries in college football. It's one of those great games that you look forward to. Last couple of years have been really good. The first time they're going to be in the SEC, so I'm actually really excited to see what that's going to mean. I mean, it's obviously always had, meaning in the Big 12, for standings with no conferences over there. But I'm excited to see what it means in the SEC. I just think it's one of those great games. I always look forward to watching it. I don't really care what other games are on. As long as Clemson's not playing a huge game, I'm typically watching that one. I'm really excited to see what Texas looks like this year. I think this is a year that I think a lot of people are really high on them. And I'm really high on them myself. I think they can be very competitive in the SEC, potentially win it in year one, and snag one of those top 4 playoff spots and get the first round bye. And I think this game sets them up in good position. It's pretty early there. No, actually, it's a little, I think, late to mid-season there, October 12th. So I think that's going to be a good springboard for either of those teams to finish out their season strong.
Bryson, number 8.
Number 8 going week 8, Florida State, Miami. I think it's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see what Cameron Ward's going to do. I think Miami stays undefeated through there, and they might, could slip their way in the top 12.
Yeah. Was Florida State in the coaches poll? Were they ranked?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're number
7 or
10. Well, in ESPN's top 25, they're number 10.
Did y'all like the ranking of the coaches poll? Y'all thought it was pretty good or blew off? It was all right.
I mean, it's preseason poll. It's hard,
Yeah.
I guess the AP one will come out Monday.
Yeah.
In case y'all want to know, App State got 2 votes.
Vote for what?
To get ranked.
Oh, to get ranked. Okay.
2 votes.
Josh is like, what? Okay. Anyway, let's go to number 7 games, or the number 7 game. Preston, you want to lead us off here, number 7?
Yeah, number 7, I've got Michigan at Ohio State, another one of those, instilled rivalries. I think this is going to be one of those games that I think, looking at it on paper, you would think that both of these teams are 11-0, if not 10-1, 11-0 going into it. Interested to see what, like we were talking about earlier with Michigan's, looming potential, suspensions and, postseason bans are going to be, what actually this game turns out to be. Ohio State, looking for them though, they've got to win this game. I mean, if you're the head coach, I mean, you've got to win this. What is he, 1-3 all time versus Michigan since he's been the head coach there? He just cannot seem to get past them. He had success for them the first time, and then I think he's 0-3 in the last straight 3 years. So it's going to be very interesting to see, what that game looks like. And I think it should be one of those, elite games, finish off the season November 30th.
Josh, number 7.
All right. Like I said, Ole Miss probably be undefeated headed into the number 7 matchup on November the 9th with Georgia. It has potential to be the biggest game ever at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. If both teams are unscathed, it will probably be a 1 versus 2, 1 versus 3 matchup, and possibly a preview of a playoff game. Could be one of two that they could play potentially, or even a SEC championship game.
Definitely agree there. Going to be a tough game. Bryson, number 7.
Yeah, I'm with Preston here. Ohio State, Michigan. It's on number 7. I think it's going to be a great game, great rivalry. Like Preston said, man, Ohio State, they need to win. Got to win this game.
I got another game here. Probably a game I probably should have had below the last one, but game I'm excited to see. Maybe there's another team they play I kind of want to see too, but Missouri at Texas A&M, October 5th. Excited to see what Missouri's going to do. That's one of my I like watching Missouri and Luther Burden and Cook over there at quarterback. I wish they still had Schrader, who went to the 49ers.
Yeah.
He was a good back too, but
Brady Cook.
like Missouri, they were good last year. Another team, I know it's going to be a tough ride for them, but another team that could get in there. I know they got to play Bama. They got to play a couple big games. Does Georgia play Missouri this year? I didn't think so. Yeah, that's why I was surprised. Yeah, it's different with not having the.
Hell, Georgia want to play South Carolina. I think that's a disgrace.
Yeah, that should.
It's a border bash, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we got too many idiots. So anyway, Missouri at Texas A&M. I don't know how Texas A&M is. Texas A&M any good? Really? You might know anything.
I know they got an easy schedule.
Easy schedule. Yeah, I don't know how
Soft
good
like
they
Charmin, baby.
Because didn't they have the top class last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they got a pretty good coaching staff, and I know they got some good players over there. It's been kind of quiet from over there. I haven't seen anything newsworthy of any type of injuries during their fall.
Still got that same quarterback, or is he going? The one.
I think it's going to be the same guy who started last year. I can't think of his name.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Clay says Bryson has Baylor number 7 game.
Now the Baylor Bears are no more.
Yeah. Everybody did number 7, so we're going number 6, right?
Yep.
Josh, go ahead. Number 6.
All right. Well, that was a couple of y'all's number 7. It's the game. The game. Michigan at Ohio State. Can Ohio State and Ryan Day finally get it done at home? Without Harbaugh over there. Michigan's got a lot of stuff hanging over their head. Who knows what this game is going to look like at the end of the season? But right now, it's an intriguing matchup, and potentially the winner of this game could be playing for the conference title against Oregon, and the loser may be hoping for a 6th seed in the playoff.
Yeah, no, definitely big game. Always a big game. Very important. Ohio State. A lot of people picking them as might be the favorite to win the national title this year. Number 6, Bryson.
Number 6 going to week 2, Texas, Michigan. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be very high scoring.
Texas, Michigan. Very high scoring. Huh?
I think so, yep. Line's already set 48.5. I think I'm taking over in that game already.
By the way, has anybody been seeing, I feel like the Minnesota in training camp, they've been talking like J.J. McCarthy's like the next, God. Does anybody pay attention to that at all?
I mean, I've seen some clips where, the media isn't in there a whole lot, but yeah, I've seen some clips where he's made some good throws. But that's just in practice. Is he going to play some of these preseason games or no? I don't know.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know Bo Nix is they list him as 3rd string. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right, number 6. I'll go to my number 6. I went to Alabama. Roll Tide roll at Tennessee. That's why I went to October 19th. Don't we remember? I mean, such a good time. Just a couple years ago.
Always be.
I heard Darnold was a starter, Clay. I don't know. That's not what I'm hearing, but maybe I'm wrong. I've heard he's looked good. But, yeah, I mean, what do you got to say? Tennessee, I know Tennessee just lost somebody too, didn't they? Didn't a safety or somebody got hurt, I think, at Tennessee, read. And, big game for new coach DeBoer over there at Tennessee. I mean, it's just going to be exciting. I don't know, it's going to be a big game for Josh. Josh is going to be dressed out in bright orange.
Yes, sir.
It's a big game every game, buddy.
Rolling with the tide.
All right, number 6. Who's the last one? Preston, number 6.
My number 6 is week 14. One of always my top 10 games. It's Army Navy. I just love everything about it. I enjoy watching it. And this year, let me explain something to you. I'm not taking the over. I have hammered the over for 3 years in a row, and I have lost every time. I just love watching it. I just think it's one of the coolest games out there. I love seeing the uniforms.
I bet that line is 32.5.
Yeah.
It could be 7, and I would hammer the over.
I think it was low. Honestly, Josh, I think it was lower than that.
I think it's high 20s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in the 20s.
Oh,
all right. Number 5. I'll start off with number 5. I'm going. It's going to be Bama again, except for I'm going Georgia at Alabama, September 28th. I mean, what do you got to say? Could be two of the best teams again. We always want to beat Bama. Never. They always catch us in the SEC championship. I want to win. I want to win. It's going to be a big game.
That's a night game too, 7:30.
Yeah, night game. Excited to see that. Isn't that the week 2? Or no, that's. I thought there was a few other big games that week. Anyway, I don't think there's much to say about that. I mean, Georgia at Alabama. We'll see what's going to happen. Josh, what are we at? Number 5.
Number 5, I got Georgia at Texas, October 19th. Big showdown between two of the top 3 teams in the conference, who could meet up again this season. I think the loser may need some help to get to Atlanta. Whoever loses this game may need some help to get to the conference championship game.
Yeah, big game. I'm really excited for that game. Going to be interesting too. Texas is probably a team I'd root for outside of Georgia anyway. But Preston, number 5.
My number 5, I've got Clemson, Georgia, August 31st. I think it's one of those really big non-conference games. I'm excited about it. I'm not excited about it. I'm not going to give my pick for that game yet. I don't want anybody to know who I'm picking for that one.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait, way to leave us on the edge of our feet.
I'm shaking in my boots.
I don't know. I'm going to lose sleep not knowing who Preston's going to pick.
Oh, man.
Hey, just wait. The week before, I'll let you guys know who I'm going to pick in that one. Spoiler, they're wearing my favorite colors. But into that game, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, okay? Obviously, the number 1 team in the land right now is Georgia. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no confusion about it. Everybody knows who's on top of the mountain. Doesn't matter that they didn't win it last year. They are the team to beat this year. People have Ohio State and all these other teams, Texas, Alabama still. But I do think, who you match up against, to show everybody this is the team I'm looking to see if I can beat them in the national championship. Well, we get that week 1. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. We got Matt Luke, who's, shoring up our offensive and defensive line. He's really doing a big thing.
Love old Matt Luke. You always talk about old Matt Luke.
It's huge. I mean, national championships are won in the trenches, and our offensive line has been atrocious. It's been really bad since DJ was there a couple of years ago, and a lot of hate was on him. A lot of it came out from me. He didn't have a lot of time to run the ball. Kay didn't have a lot of time last year, and he was running. That's why he was scrambling and making a lot of dumb decisions. But realistically, he had to, or he was making business decisions out there. So seeing the accumulation, I said that wrong, of what he's done, year 2 of Garrett Riley's offense, some really highly rated freshman wide receivers and Wesco and Bryant. Just really excited to see what we can do. And I realistically think this could be a team that not only competes for the ACC championship, but realistically can compete for a playoff spot and, a chance at another championship.
Enough said. All right. Anyway, who we got at number 5?
My number 5 is one of my favorite games of the year, the largest cocktail party, Florida versus Georgia. Great midseason game. I just love going. It's a great time at that game. Hopefully, if we lose, I'm sorry, which we probably will, but if we win, that'll be a great for us, and could mess up Georgia, later down the road for trying to get that 12 team playoff. So one sleeper game for Georgia for sure.
Yep. Everybody pick number 5. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm just when I praised you for that Appalachian State game, and now I'm about to dog you for the game that's not even going to be decided by less than 3 scores, man. Come on, man.
We would talk about, this is my
Man.
list.
This is my list.
I'm sorry. I thought I had you going. Week, number 9, week 2. I like seeing Josh hyped over there. That's a great sight to see. And,
I'm disappointed. But I understand it. I get it. It is the largest cocktail party. It's Florida, Georgia, blue, blah, blah, blah.
He'll have it turned off by about the end of the first quarter.
I won't have it turned off. I'll watch it all the way to the end.
I don't know. Bryson get pissed off.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 4. I'll start with my number 4. I went with the game Josh already mentioned. Maybe my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite games I'm looking forward to for Georgia. Georgia at Texas, October 19th. I mean, it's not a game I've seen in a while. Excited to see both of them, especially at Texas. This will be a fun game actually to go to. Bryson always talks about going to Florida at Texas, but I'm excited to see. I hate to see the running back got hurt over there in Texas, but it's just next man up. I mean, you got a lot of running backs. I would think I know Georgia always does anyway, so we'll see what happens there. Preston, you want to go to your number 5 or 4 game?
My number 4 team, October 12th. I know it's already been stated, but I got Ohio State at Oregon. I'm interested to see this cross-country trip. I think, whether was it 2 or 3 years ago that Oregon came to Ohio State. I believe they just barely lost, if I'm not mistaken, in that one. Getting to see the return and now a Big Ten matchup. Very interesting. I just don't know if I'll ever really get, fully used to just that. I just doesn't sit well with me, but Ohio State at Oregon. I think, again, we've spoken multiple times in some other big matchups that these are really big games, not only for their conference, but, for, playoff seeding, which is now a thing. It's not just the top 4. Now it's first round buys, hosting, sneaking in, and seeing if you can play for a championship. So I think not only is this going to be a really fun matchup, I think Dylan Gabriel there in Oregon, and the quarterback for Ohio State, which I'm blanking on right now. I think these are going to be some really good matchups. I'm really excited to see this one.
Yeah, Will Howard, Kansas State. Looking forward to seeing him. Anyway, Josh.
All right, my number 4. This is for you, Preston. You ready? Clemson at Florida State, October the 5th. Florida State snapped a 7-game losing streak last year in Death Valley.
I saw that in person.
Winner of this game will be the conference champion and represent the ACC, one of only 2 ACC schools that I predict will get in to the playoffs. But the winner of this game has the catbird seat to me. And the loser may be behind Louisville to get into the playoffs.
All right, Bryson.
My number 4, which I think honestly you could put this at number 1. I think it could be SEC championship game, Georgia, Ole Miss. Man, that's going to be such a great game. 2 high offensive powers going head to head. I got to tell you, Jackson Dart, Trey Harris is going to be probably one of the nastiest duo, or might be the best.
Already were last year, so
best duo in college football. Only downfall, we know Lane Kiffin cannot win the big games when needed, and he likes finding his punters at frat parties. So shout Lane Kiffin, Hottie Toddy. That's going to be a great game.
All right, everybody pick number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4. All right, we're going to go to number
What was your
4.
number 4?
I went Georgia, Texas.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Georgia at Texas. Number 3. Josh, go ahead with number 3.
All right, here we go. September 28th. Then boys from Athens travel over to Tuscaloosa. Georgia at Alabama. Well, I don't think the loser of this game, because it's early.
Yeah.
First, I don't think the loser of this game is out of contention for the conference championship or the playoffs. This is Kalen DeBoer's first SEC game. Hello, welcome to the SEC. Hello,
you don't get a welcome.
As a home underdog, if he pulls an upset over the Dogs, who are seeking revenge from Alabama,
I don't know how much I
Stop
guess so.
at 3
So,
feet. Oh, it's revenge, son. It's 1 in 8 in the past 9 matchups against.
So how's it upset then?
I mean, because you're favored. Georgia's favored. They're with Ohio State. I mean, they're the '98.
It might not be favored.
They're the '98 Yankees. They're the 2004 Lakers. Come on, man. Georgia's stacked, ready to go.
Don't ever
hey,
compare. Don't ever compare any of my teams to the damn Yankees. I can't.
Hey, here we go. I mean, Caleb DeBoer, West Coast guy. Don't know this, don't know that. Well, if he pulls the upset in Tuscaloosa and Bryant Denny on that Saturday night, you better watch out. And can the players show the country that the A never changes?
Bet my dollar rolling with the tide, baby.
Just because
the A doesn't change, my friends.
The tide ain't on top no more.
Hey, the A doesn't change.
A doesn't change.
The A doesn't change.
I don't give a piss about nothing but
that's
the
my
tide,
number
baby.
3 matchup. I mean, my bias wanted to put it at number 1. I don't think that I tried to put more of an emphasis on playoff implication matchups, but this is a huge matchup, and all eyes will be on that game. And Georgia, is licking their chops right now, ready to get over there and show Alabama something. And I think they probably can and probably will, but you never know.
My number 3 game, I went a game that I think all of us mentioned. I don't know if all of us have yet. Ohio State at Oregon, October 12th. Ohio State might probably, could be the best team. I mean, on paper, might be the best team in college football. I mean, who knows? Everybody's talking about Ohio State. And Oregon, I mean, Dylan Gabriel going to Oregon. Excited to see what's going to happen over there. Just overall great game to the top teams, 2 teams that could make the playoff. We got Jimmy Smith in the chat, who is a Georgia fan. Just
A for the ass whooping. Is that what the A stands for? UGA.
Anyway, Bryson, number 4. Or 3. Excuse me, 3.
Number 3. I will probably be wearing red and black on this Saturday. Georgia at Texas. I'm pulling for the dogs hard that weekend. Everybody, if you know me, I hate Texas. Can't stand Texas. I think it's going to be a great game. I hope it's 72-0. I hope Archie comes in. Y'all lit his ass up. I cannot wait for that game. Georgia at Texas, number 3.
Preston, number 3.
I have also got Georgia at Texas at number 3 there at October 19th. I'm sorry. One of those things I think, good SEC matchup. We've seen good matchups for them in the past. Excited to see what's going to happen.
Now it's SEC matchup. It's hard to say that with Texas.
Welcome to the SEC.
Weird. So weird. Yeah, guess it is. Anyway, number 2 game, getting into the top 2 here. Preston, we'll go back to you. Go ahead with your number 2.
My number 2, we don't need to spend a lot of time on it. We've spoken about it a couple of times. Georgia at Alabama, September 28th. Again, another huge SEC game, potential matchup precursor there in the regular season to what we could see either in the SEC championship game, a playoff game, or a national championship game. We've seen that, twice already. So I think both of these teams are going to be very, very well coached into the year. They're going to be very good. This could just be a tune-up game for one of them.
Yeah, number 2, I went with Texas at Michigan, September 7th. 2 teams that could possibly be a letdown. You never know. I mean, Michigan coming off a national title, they could be a letdown. A lot of people, it's kind of a team you don't know what to expect. In Texas, a lot of people, you got people high on Texas. Texas could definitely do well, but Texas also could not do so well. I mean, there's a possibility they have a lot of big games. They could lose some of those big games. So, the 2 teams, but just a game I'm excited to see. I haven't, like I said, not a game see very often, and just like I said, game I'm excited to see. Josh, number 2.
Number 2, and I gave Bryson some shit earlier about his Florida Georgia match. I mean, I'm going to go with this one because it's going to be different with Nick Saban not there at Alabama, but Alabama.
I know it, and it was about in mine.
At LSU.
Oh no, it wasn't mine.
November the 9th, and the winner of this game the past 6 seasons has went to the SEC championship game. So, I mean, that's different this year with the additions of Oklahoma and Texas and no divisions. I still believe that this will be a huge game with the loser potentially out of the playoff picture.
Yeah. No, I was thinking you were talking about the Iron Bowl. That's
No,
why
I'm not putting
after that was
We still
crazy.
got-
Auburn. I mean, Auburn can do some stuff, and they've done some stuff on some years where people didn't expect them
They
to
should
do.
have won that damn game last year.
They've got 3 consecutive losing seasons, and until they then show me something different, I'm not putting them in my top 10. They do got an honorable mention, but not
That
in
was
the
bull crap last year. I tell you what. Anyway,
the great.
Roll Tide. Who hasn't done number 2? Preston, did you know number 2?
No, I already did number 2. I did Georgia, Alabama.
Bryce.
I'm with Preston. I got Georgia versus Alabama. DeBoer's first, like Josh said, SEC game. That would be a great winner underneath his belt if he could pull the upset. I think it's gonna be a great game.
Go ahead with your number 1, Bryce.
Oh, Josh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry what I'm about to say because I know you are not going to like this pick at all. But then again, it's my list. I've been talking about it for years. I want to go to the game so bad. Chris already knows. Florida at Texas. I'm not expecting a lot, but my God, if we pull the upset, you ain't never going to hear it. The end of it from me. I can't wait. I just hope we got the talent. We just got to piece it together. But I got number 1, Florida at Texas.
When is that game?
I believe it's at 12.
No, when?
Oh, sorry.
It's in November, right?
It's like November 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's at
No,
the
I'm
end.
sorry.
November 19th.
I don't think that's
A lot of good games that week.
Yeah. That's it's November 9th, right? November 9th.
Yeah, sorry. I'm
November
sorry.
9th, because we're talking about
November 9th. November 9th.
Last part of the season.
Hey, it's
Bryson,
at 12.
You gonna make a big push to go to the game?
I really want to.
No.
I
Go down
think
to Austin. Woo.
We're going to Cherokee that weekend.
I think that'd be a great thing for the channel to go to that game.
Yeah, it'd be a great thing if you if you buy my ticket too. It'd be
I
great.
mean, there's gonna be a lot of money involved, but
buy a plane.
it'd be a great game to go to.
No, y'all should do a road trip and do the show on the road. And have
we've been talking about it. We want to start going to SEC schools, not go to the games, but just interview people and tailgating. And before we go on, I just want to let y'all know or get y'all's opinion on we got the hardest schedule this year in college football.
Yep.
How many wins? Honestly, y'all think Florida?
We're gonna talk about it later on, but
wow.
I was gonna say 5.
I'm right there. I'm in 500. I think you can win.
There's 3 must wins, and there's 2 should wins, and then there's probably 3 could wins, and the rest would be
shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Anyway, who? What are we on? Everybody done?
We're on the number 1 game.
All right, I'll go with my number 1. I'm going to a game that we have mentioned once again. Maybe a game that shouldn't be at number 1. Could be a blowout. Never know though. Georgia at Clemson, August 31st. I'm just ready to start the season. I think it's, you just never know. As much as I can't stand Clemson, I think they might be pretty good.
Maffa.
Not pretty good. I think they might be okay. I don't think they're going to be. I think, they got, besides everything I can't stand about them, I do love the running back. I do love Phil Maffa. He has great talent. I'm hoping he goes somewhere good in the NFL. But, I mean, you never know. I mean, the quarterback gets another year up under his belt. I don't think Clemson. I don't want to say they don't have a shot early in the season.
Give us the bulletin board material. Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to win a big game early in the season. But, I'm just hoping Georgia don't fall flat. I'm just kind of worried. I don't know. I am a little worried about it, but I could see it going a little bit both ways, But I don't know. Just a game, like I said, I'm looking forward to the start of the season and looking forward to a team I want to beat down. So that's why I'm going with Georgia at Clemson. Preston, number 1.
Before I give my number 1.
Georgia and Atlanta, excuse me, not at Clemson.
Do you all three of you really think that that's going to be a good game, or do you think that's going to be a blowout? Obviously, I can tell who you're all probably leaning toward. I'm interested in knowing. Do you think it's going to be a relatively good game to start the season off?
I think it's going to be relatively good
I got 31-17.
until the fourth quarter. Georgia pulls away, wins by 10.
I wouldn't say total blowout. I said 31-17.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's respect. I mean, that's
But
what he
it wouldn't,
said.
like I said, I am a little nervous about it. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
mean, I think Clemson's defense is going to be improved a lot. I think that there is potential for Clemson to exploit Georgia. I think if Georgia gets in a tight spot like they did last year with Auburn, if they get in a tight spot and they do not have Brock Bowers, well, who do they turn to?
That's
That's
true.
what I
I
said.
mean, if he didn't have Brock
And then
Bowers,
again-
there's potential for 2 losses last year.
Yeah.
Auburn and
Who do they turn to? Can Clemson stretch the field and air the ball out because Georgia's going to stop the run?
I say, and yeah, I'm with you. I like Clemson's defense, and but and I'm not fully sold on Carson Beck. Everybody wants to talk about how he's the one of the top. I know, he might be one of the top Heisman guys.
Well,
but
Georgia just now started playing these big time matchups. Clemson's been doing it to start the year, so Clemson kind of knows in that building. Maybe not some of the same players, but the building, the staff, the coach, they kind of know the jitters and the nervousness of playing a big time first game of the season in Atlanta. They've done it for a few times.
I'll just say it like this. If we come out like we did last year in week 1 versus Duke, Georgia wins by 60. I mean, there's nothing you can tell me otherwise. If we come out like we did versus Duke last year, fumbling the ball inside our own 5 twice, throwing interceptions, just unable to move the ball consistently, finding yourselves in 3rd and long.
Well, they just a side note, Clemson is, reveling in God's NIL. I seen the new shirts today. It has a hands praying on the shirt, and it says God's NIL. So
it's the dumbest stuff in the world.
So
open the portal.
I mean, you got God's team, and then you got women beaters and child cruelty and reckless driving and DUIs.
Go Dogs.
So you got your mixture between the 2007 Florida Gators and the 1989 Miami Hurricanes.
Yes, sir. So,
whoa,
yes, sir.
whoa. Hold on. Aaron Hernandez was a murderer. Get out of here. That man was a murderer.
Okay, he says Oscar Delp. We got Oscar Delp.
Oscar
Bowers
replacement. Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he's replacement. Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's a big dude. I don't think he's Brock Bowers, but he can be. I think he can be. I just don't. Like I said, I'm not fully sold.
I see Georgia pulling away.
I like Ladd McConkey. I think Ladd McConkey's going to do big things.
That's another void that you're trying to fill. And
I think honestly, like dead serious, if he can stay healthy, I know we're not talking NFL. I think that might be one of my favorite rookie receivers. Not just saying Georgia. I've heard a lot of people talk him up. A lot of people that was recruits that were inside Georgia say Brock Bowers wasn't the best player on that team. It was Ladd McConkey. That's what I've heard multiple people say that. So
I mean, that's a valid opinion, but Brock Bowers was that heart of that offense. It felt like.
Oh, he might have been, but I what I'm saying is
overall player, vocally and everything. I think Ladd McConkey was a good locker room guy, and he put in work and he put it to action on the field, and he led by example. Brock Bowers was more of a quiet guy, but I mean, one guy can bring down Ladd McConkey. It takes 2 or 3 bring down Brock Bowers.
Of course. I'm not saying
Delp too. Delp's a big guy. He's a big target. I'm sure that they're gonna utilize him, and he might be, the Brock Bowers 2.0. Who knows? Guess we're gonna find out.
Is a good comparison for statement. Go ahead.
I'm not saying I agreed. Sorry, we keep cutting. I'm not saying I agreed with the statement. I was just saying, that's what people said anyway. But go ahead, Preston.
What's a really good comparison for another college football team for Ladd McConkey? I'm gonna give you mine. Hunter Renfrow. Works hard, great player. Maybe, not the biggest in the world, but Going to give
Is he
you
still playing, bro?
120%. Yeah,
He was good.
he's still-
He was good for a few years in the NFL. I know. Yeah, I mean, I know he's great at Clemson, but he
He
was.
played with the Raiders. I think
Yeah.
he's
he
still
still
with the.
does.
Yeah, I don't know if he
He's
was.
like the wide receiver number 3, probably what Lad
Yeah.
McConkey ended up being.
Anyway, who hasn't done number one?
Me and Preston.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
All right, so y'all may think I'm crazy for this, and that's okay. Y'all can think that, but you're gonna mark my words right here. Mark it down, screenshot it, do whatever you got to do. But Texas at Texas A&M, November the 30th, last game of the season, one of the biggest rivalries renewed now that they're in the SEC, and not only is this a rivalry renewed, but this is between two of the biggest NIL schools in college football. Big time money, big time recruiting matchup here. Aside from that, I think A&M with the easy schedule could come into this game with playoff hopes. 2 losses, most, and come in, and Texas have 1 loss. And if Texas A&M upset Texas in that game, it knocked Texas out of the playoffs and put Texas A&M in. Vice versa. This is going to be a play and you're in game at Texas at Texas A&M.
I
I'm
really
thinking,
like that game.
and I think it's going to be the highest ticketed game in all of college football this year. And I think it's going to be loud. It's going
Hold
to be
on now. You better play me my theme music.
what theme music?
Deion Sanders. He's gonna have he's gonna have all the fans over there.
Yeah, I'm talking about just the ticket cost for the game.
I was
I was looking at ticket costs for Alabama and Georgia because I was thinking about
Oh, you
going.
said ticket cost. I thought you were talking about fan. I thought you were talking about attendance.
No, ticket costs. Yeah, Texas A&M Stadium is huge, man. It's going to be, but yeah, ticket. I was looking at ticket costs between Texas or Alabama and Georgia because I was thinking about going because it's right there near my birthday. My wife was going to take me. But the problem is that the hotel rooms and the Airbnbs are just outrageously priced that week, and that weekend. But yeah, we could have got in the game, probably both of us with really good seats for 360, 375 a piece.
I mean, yeah.
Lower level 50-yard line.
Yeah, time you paid for the housing and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
Anyway, number one, Preston.
I like that there, Jimmy Smith. Good comparison.
Yeah, 49er now. Hopefully he could. Brandon Ayuk might be gone. He might be the number 2 receiver. Anyway, go ahead, Preston.
So my number one game, I think it's my team's biggest game in the ACC. We've spoken about it earlier. I saw it in person last year when we lost in overtime. I'll see it again in person this year in Tallahassee. Clemson at Florida State. I think not only are the big matchups are these two teams, the two offenses, the defenses against each other. You're going to see one team that's full portal, access, a lot of players coming from other schools, a lot of NIL money versus a team, like Josh said, doesn't use the portal. There's two differing styles of recruiting players nowadays in the new age of college football. Not only is it that a big, eye catcher for me, another big eye catcher, it's DJ's first game versus Clemson, the team that he was with for 3 years. How does he play? I've seen him play, beyond exceptional when he played at Notre Dame, has the most passing yards by a freshman quarterback ever in that stadium. That record still stands today. Lost in double overtime versus Notre Dame. Great game. Can't say that game was on him. He gave everything he had at Clemson. A lot of love and respect. I'll still love and respect him, before that game, after that game. But those 60 minutes and hopefully nothing longer unless it's necessary. I will not be a huge DJ Uiagalelei fan, but I do think that's going to be an absolutely electric game. Clemson's going to be going into that. I believe they're going to be going into that game 3-0 with wins. Potentially 3-0. Our slip up game might be App State or NC State, but I think it's going to be one of those great matchups. And I think it's
NC State's a tough game.
They are a tough game, but we get that game at home this year. Thank God.
That's a good team. Anyway, yeah, good game. We were just, rooting on Florida State there for a minute. Okay. Anyway, honorable mentions, anybody? I know there's a lot of I got a few here. I'll just go through. We ain't got to. I had some teams we hadn't mentioned. Utah, Arizona. Two teams that possibly, you never know, make the playoffs.
Oots.
Yeah, the Utes.
Cameron Rise are coming back
I also
now.
had Utah again. Utah, Oklahoma State. Ollie Gordon over there. He took a good team, like I said, rising back again. And I didn't put Ohio State and Michigan in my list. The only reason I didn't do that is just because I knew they were going to be mentioned, and we've seen it so many times, and it's just, I don't know. And it's a 12 o'clock game. I hate 12 o'clock games, even though a lot of the good games, there's some good games 12 o'clock. I just hate that game's at noon all the time. But that was a few of my honorable mentions. Josh, any games you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I got 5 honorable mentions. I limited it to 5. I got the first one I got is Tennessee at Oklahoma on September 21st. It's Oklahoma's first SEC game. I think that is an intriguing matchup. And then right after that, I got Oklahoma at Auburn a week later. Oklahoma's first road game, playing in one of the hardest road environments that there is to play in the SEC at Auburn. A big, important game for Auburn to the trajectory of their season, I think, hinges on that game. I got Georgia and Clemson. Can Dabo shock the world is the note that I put right there. LSU and USC, Labor Day. Major game for both schools, the trajectory of their season. Can Lincoln Riley start the path off right, or is he just going to be let down? Is this going to build momentum for Brian Kelly and LSU? Alabama at Tennessee, October the 19th. Do I need to say any more? Last time Alabama was there, they tore the goalpost down. Wild game. Can Tennessee, win again there? We'll see. Those are my 5 honorable mentions.
So LSU USC, that's the Monday game. Is that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is September the 1st. So
yeah.
No, Sunday.
I wonder if there's a Monday game.
Yeah, there is. It's Florida State and Notre Dame, I think.
Oh yeah, big game there. That was one of Preston's. That was a good one for Preston. He picked. Preston, any honorable games that we didn't?
No, I don't really have any honorable games, but I do have one question. You've got Texas and Texas A&M. They're going to be renewing their rivalry, like Josh was talking about earlier. They're going to play at the last game of the season. That game was reserved for Texas A&M when they were playing LSU. So, who is LSU playing at the end of the season? That's an honest question. I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not Florida.
No, we play them 2 weeks before the end. Let me look it up right quick.
LSU, yeah, who's LSU
going to be against Oklahoma?
Okay.
That was one.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
Don't hate it.
Another game I didn't mention. I was going to say Missouri, Alabama, but at Alabama, I think it is.
Okay, so I think August the 24th, week 0, I guess you could call it. Hold on just a second. I just wanted to say this real quick. Florida State and Georgia Tech in Ireland.
In Ireland, wow.
Yep, on August the 24th at
12 p.m.
At noon. I kind of keep up with Georgia Tech a little bit. I think they're going to be a lot improved. I don't know if they can beat Florida State in Ireland, but I think it has the potential to be a pretty good game. But yeah, that's the main thing that we got that day. A little appetizer for the week to come.
That's a good appetizer. I mean, two well-known teams. Bryson, any honorable mentions we didn't mention?
Yeah, just quick thought on that game. Hayes King coming from A&M going to Georgia Tech.
He was there last year.
Had a decent season at Tech last year. Looking for him to improve. I already got one. I'm pretty excited about. It's on my birthday, and I'm actually going to this game. My cousin surprised me. Florida and Ole Miss. First time going to the Swamp. I'm pretty excited. I think that could be.
You ought to punch your cousin in the face for getting you that for your birthday.
I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna be a great game. Like I said, go to this. The only thing I don't like is a 12 o'clock game, but yeah, I'm pretty excited.
No, you never know. It could be a good game. I'm just messing around. Anyway, anything else anybody want to mention about the games?
Last week for Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, always a great game. Good rivalry.
Wing T, baby. Wing
T.
Yeah, excited for all the games. A lot of big games. There's way more games than that. I mean, we could go all day with this, but excited for the season. I think we're gonna go through our schedules here in a few weeks. Not 100% what all we're gonna do. I know we're gonna do that, and then we might pick our top 12 teams to make playoffs or do a top 25. We'll see here. We're going to talk about that here for the coming weeks, but we're going to try to be live here and do a show until the regular season starts and throughout the regular season. So, also going to start the NFL show. Try to do something next week. I haven't decided if it's just going to be fantasy or if it's going to be, we're going to go through the games like we do on here. We're going to decide that here shortly, but. Yeah, great first show, great preview. Anything else from anybody?
I just want to say, pray for Florida this year. Hardest schedule. I'm looking at 2 to 3 wins for us. Honestly, I think we could probably win. I'm hoping for 500.
Clay said 4.5 is what the Vegas has got it at.
Yeah, man. If I'm a betting man, which I am,
I'm going to go over with that.
I think take the under. Like I said, we got the talent. We just got to be able to piece it together. Like I said, hardest schedule, but like I said, week 2, App State, Clemson, can't wait.
Colorado wins, Josh. How many do you think?
7.
7 wins? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
any chance they shock the world somehow?
No. I mean, they got the players. They just don't have the culture there. I read some stuff that a guy talking about. It's Grand Theft Auto Boulder edition over there. It's just it's being ran like a big NFL camp and like a lot of fights going on. I just don't know about the culture. They do got some players over there. I like Sanders, and of course, I like Travis Hunter. I watched him play in person. I think he's great. I think he needs to fine-tune what he wants to do. I don't think he needs to play both sides of the ball. I think that takes away from what he can do as a cornerback or as a receiver. I mean, I think he would make a better cornerback, but they need a playmaker at receiver. So, put him at receiver. I do think maybe they can get 7 wins. That's the ceiling, and the floor is probably 4 wins. The floor is 4. The ceiling is 7.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's probably about right.
I wouldn't bet on Colorado though because it's kind of unknown.
Yeah, no. We got another prayer request in the chat. Bryson is the head coach at App State in a dynasty league, and he said prayers for Bryson, coach of our dynasty league. He's on the hot seat, so I think he's 0-3 right now.
1-4.
1-4.
1-0, no.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the first week. Like I said, we'll be back next week with something. I'll put something out here in the next couple of weeks. We might go through the schedules next week or do our own top 25. We'll see. We'll talk about that. But appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube. We're gonna repost this into a video. Download, follow the podcast on Spotify, and liking. I think it's like and download on Apple Podcasts as well.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. Appreciate you watching. Peace.
God bless our troops and God bless America.